Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in episode number 6 of Al-Isra Wal Meraj, this magnificent heavenly journey of the Prophet Muhammad Sal'lal'laa'hu A'layhi'was'sal'lam. Right, so in yesterday's episode, we were just looking at the size or the dimensions of the solar systems for us to understand or grasp the immensity of this journey. So we looked at briefly the size of the solar system, that the solar system comprises the sun and 8 planets. We've got many trillions of dwarf planets and asteroids and all of that, and the length of the distance between the sun and the earth is called an astronomical unit, 150 million kilometers. But from the sun to the edge of our solar system, that's the Oort cloud, that distance is 30 trillion kilometers. And as we know, famously, the Voyager 1 probe, as it was leaving the outer limits, when it went beyond Neptune and Pluto, as it was going through the outer reaches of our solar system, it then took a turn and it took a snapshot Kodak photo of the planet Earth. And Carl Sagan in his book famously called it the pale blue dot, and he referred to our Earth. As we see, it's so small. Now, as Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is going Al-Isra Wal Meraj, he's seeing all of this. Now he's seeing, as he's coming out from the planet Earth, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is going higher and higher and higher until he sees our entire solar system like a coin. The entire solar as a coin. As he goes further and further higher, he sees the Milky Way galaxy, which is also then like a coin. As he goes further and further, he sees there's so many more other galaxies until he comes to the first heaven. But let's continue with this, right? So now we're looking at the distances are so vast that we no longer look at astronomical units. We talk about the speed of light. Speed of light is 300,000 kilometers in 1 second. 1 second, 300,000 kilometers. And if you have an object that is traveling at 300,000 kilometers per second, and if you travel for an hour, then if you travel at that speed for a day, and if you travel at that speed for a week or a month, imagine how many kilometers you can cover. So they talk about a light year. If you keep traveling at that speed for an entire year, the distance you will cover is approximately 10 trillion kilometers. 10 trillion kilometers, right? So in simple terms, what it means is that because the distance from the sun to the Oort cloud is 30 trillion kilometers, a spaceship that is traveling at the speed of light will take 3 light years to go from the sun to the Oort cloud. 3 light years. It means it will take 3 years traveling at the speed of light. It's non-stop. And the speed of light, 300,000 kilometers per second, only applies in a vacuum. When if there's any air or any other medium, it slows down, right? So in simple terms, speed of light is 300,000 kilometers per second. It travels at 10 trillion kilometers per year, and some galaxies are so far away that they're not 1 light year away. It won't take you 1 year to get to it. It won't take you 2 years. It may take you 10 years. It'll take you 1,000 years. Sometimes the spaceship will have to go for 1,000,000 years, and in some cases it'll take billions of years to get to some of the galaxies. Billion years traveling at the speed of light. Now, even if it takes 100, or say if it takes 1,000 years at the speed of light, you're already dead. You're dead in 100 years. Your body will be decomposed. But Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam traveled these billions of light years. In one night he went and he came back. How was it possible? He traveled trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions of kilometers, a distance that would take a spaceship billions of years. He did it in one night. He went and he came back. How is it? It's possible scientifically, right? So we look at that. So here let's look at the dimensions again. The Earth and the solar system, that's the sun plus our planets, our planet Earth, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. That's known as a solar system. The word solar means a family of the sun, right? And there's trillions of stars which also got families as well. When we look up at the night sky, that is known just as the sky. That's what we refer to as the sky. Even if you look at books 100 years, 1,000 years ago, they call about the sky. They did not know that there's other galaxies. So when the word sky just refers to the Milky Way galaxy. But with advances in telescope and advances in astrophysics, they realized that, oh, you know what? The sky that we're looking at is only one galaxy out of many other galaxies. But our galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy, has got more than 1 trillion stars in it. and every star got so many planets. So there's trillions of stars and there's trillions of planets within our galaxy, within the Milky Way galaxy. So if you look at from the sun, we are part of what is known as the Milky Way galaxy, which contains trillions of stars. But as our advances go with the Hubble telescope and the Webb telescope, we find that, you know what, there's known as clusters of galaxies. Then there are huge families of galaxies, the super colony of galaxies, and there are trillions upon trillions of galaxies in an ever expanding universe. The universe is getting bigger and bigger, and there's some galaxies are shaped spiral, some are elliptical, some are irregular galaxies, all different types of galaxies. But each one of them, at the center of the galaxy, there is a huge super black hole. In our Milky Way galaxy, the super black hole is in the site what is known as a Sagittarius. In that site you will find a massive black hole, so everything is spinning around that black hole, right? So the universe is huge. Now all of these trillions of galaxies, trillions, with trillions of stars and trillions of planets, all of that is only heaven number one. Heaven number one, where Prophet ﷺ met Adam alayhi. That's only heaven number one, all the trillions of galaxies. And heaven number two, when Nabi ﷺ went to heaven number two, so heaven number one is trillions of galaxies. Everything that we see in the known universe, right? That's trillions of galaxies. That's heaven number one. When Nabi Sallallahu went to heaven number two, he found that heaven number one, all these trillions of galaxies, it was so far away, it looked like a coin in the desert. That means heaven number two is a trillion times bigger than heaven number one. Because if you put a coin in the Sahara Desert, it's actually more, you can fit more than 1 trillion coins. In much, maybe a quintillion coins or septillion coins, I don't know how many, maybe 10 to the 100 Google coins, I don't know. But for simplicity of talking, we just say that heaven number two is 1 trillion times bigger than heaven number one. So today's scientists will be absolutely amazed with what they think is the entire universe. They think that the universe is trillions of galaxies. That's our universe now. Our trillions of galaxies is only one coin in another heaven where there are another trillion universes like our universe. So our universe with trillions of galaxies, that's one universe. But heaven number two has got 1 trillion universes like our universe. Trillion. And heaven number three got another 1 trillion universes like heaven number two. And heaven number four got another 1 trillion universes. So there's multiverses, trillions upon trillions of universes, much more bigger than our universe, much more fabulous and much more huge. Scientists will never be able to understand it. Because at the moment, even our most intelligent scientists and astronauts can only visualize or understand 5% of the known universe. 5% matter, 95% is antimatter. They know something is there, but they don't know what it is. So 95% of our known universe, our scientists cannot even understand what it is, right? So that is just to give us an understanding of what Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went through. Now the reason why I talk about time slowing down and how did Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam manage this? If you watch the movie called Interstellar, a fabulous movie, who was acting in that? Keira Knightley, not Keira Knightley. Two famous actors, I forget, the lady who acted in Princess Diaries, right? She and then the Macaulay fellow, I forget the names. All right. So in the Interstellar movie, as they, when they left the planet Earth to look for other civilization, they went to the black hole, they went to Event Horizon, and then there were parallel universes. Then love was shaking the gravity force, and then when he went to when any object, what the theory of relativity says, any object that goes at the speed of light. Right, any object that travels at the speed of light at 300,000 kilometers per second, the faster you go from 100,000 kilometers per second, 200,000, time slows down. Time slows down until if you hit 300,000 kilometers per second, time stops. So physics tells us you cannot go faster than the speed of light, but what Islam says you can go faster than the speed of light. Thought is faster than the speed of light. There are some subatomic particles, I don't know if it's muons, that go faster than the speed of light. So anything that goes faster than the speed of light, your time slows down until time stops. That means on Earth, time is stopped. That means Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam could have been gone for a couple of months, couple of days, and on Earth it was only for an hour. And the evidence we have for this, when you talk about Laylatul Qadr, the last 10 nights of the odd nights of the month of Ramadan, the Quran tells us very clearly, one night is more valuable than 1,000 months of your worship. So my understanding from that verse is that when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went one night on on Isra Wal Meraj, he went for one night. He was actually gone for 1,000 months. He was gone for 1,000 months. He was gone for 83 years. And in that 1,000 months, so Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was gone for 1,000 months because that night was so important. The night of Isra Wal Meraj is like Laylatul Qadr. He was gone for 1,000 months. Elsewhere, somewhere else in Quran, Allah tells us that the angels go in one day where it'll take you 50,000 years. So in one day or one night is half of that is 25,000 years. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam couldn't be gone for 25,000 years. But I like the explanation where he said he was gone for 1,000 months. So in the 1,000 months, they took him for a tour of everything. He saw the entire heaven number 1. He saw heaven number 2, he saw heaven number 3, heaven number 4, 5, 6, 7, and he saw Jannah al-Firdaus, and he saw everything. That is why he was gone for so long. But when he came back, his bed was still warm. Why? Because that is the power of Laylatul Qadr. He went and he came back, right? Now, as we're going towards faster than the speed of light, you have dilation of time and dilation of space. We know E is equal to mc squared, right? But time slows down. The faster you go, if there's two places or well, let me just put that. We have two parallel universes, right? If there's two places, one person has got a clock on Earth, you're holding a watch, and the other person is moving with a very fast object, not like our normal space rockets. They are very slow. Our planes are very slow. Something that's going at 10,000 kilometers per hour, 100,000 kilometers per hour, million kilometers per hour is all very slow because time goes at 300,000 kilometers per second. 300,000 kilometers per second. So as you're approaching the speed, which is a physical constant, which is known as c, the physical constant is c. The closer you come to the speed of light, one watch you are holding, and the other watch is in that spaceship that's going so fast, you'll find that the watch in space will start slowing down. The faster you go, it slows down. You won't even age. You'll go out to space, going at that speed, you'll remain young. If you go at the age of 20 years, you'll come back 20 years. But the people on Earth, they would have been 80 years old. They would have become old age. Right? That's how you remain young when you go at that speed. Is known as dilation of time and space. Right? And then we have parallel universes, which means there are different dimensions. And how do we know about the existence of different dimensions? Because the evidence of this is Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saw Musa Alayhi Salam in 3 places. As he was going with Buraq, as he was approaching Jerusalem, Masjid Al-Aqsa, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam saw Musa Alayhi Salam praying namaz in the grave. Then when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came to Jerusalem, he tied Masjid Al-Aqsa, he tied Buraq, and he went inside the mosque, and then Gib'raéel Alayhi Salam made the azan, and who was behind him? Musa Alayhi Salam was praying behind him. So Musa Alayhi Salam is meanwhile in his grave, and Musa Alayhi Salam is here behind Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Then when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went to the heavens, he saw Musa Alayhi Salam at heaven number 6. And Musa Alayhi Salam was then talking to him to reduce the number of Salaah. So Musa Alayhi Salam was at the same place in 3 different places. This is known as dilation, parallel universes, different universes. You exist in different time dimensions. That means that parallel universe means that, and the Quran tells us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created 7 heavens and He created 7 earths. That means there are 7 earths of several parallel dimensions. There could be another person of you in another earth who looks like you, talks like, but maybe he's in a different family, he's got a different lifestyle. So they are parallel universes, but what this gives you, this is a karamat or a gift or a miracle, because some of the ulama, they tell us about the scholars that the walis of Allah, they can be in 2 places at the same time. And the walis of Allah, the dilation of time means, we call it barakah, but the scientists call it dilation of time. It means that in a short amount of time, you can do so much which will take another person 100 years or 1,000 years to do the same thing. And that is why the ulama, or the scholars, or the wali of the ages, they could write hundreds of books, hundreds if not thousands. And people just wonder, how is it possible? It's because they had dilation, they had barakat in the time. Space started dilating, time started slowing down, time slowed down for them. Because they were at another level, they were so fast and advanced, time started slowing down for them. They could do so much. That means in their time zone, 100 hours for someone else was like 30 minutes for them. So when you get 30 minutes, they had a barakat of 100 hours. They could sit for 100 hours and work, but when they come out of the time zone, it's only like 30 minutes has passed, and they will give you a huge volume and say, how did you manage this in 30 minutes? They say, no, it wasn't 30 minutes. I was actually gone for 100 months. I was gone in that zone, in another dimension. We can't see it, they can see it. two examples I'll give you. And the wali, the scholars tell us, one wali was in Medina, and he said, time for Maghrib Salah came, sunset, he said, I want to pray Maghrib in Makkah. He took one footstep, and his friends are watching him. He took one footstep, and he disappeared, and he was in Makkah. He was praying Maghrib in Makkah, and they found him, and he said, no, he's having dinner with us in Makkah. How did he do that? He was in two places. In one step, he was there. Another of the ulama tells us, the wali, that he told his friend, and his friend was asking him, what is this thing called waliullah? What is this? I don't understand all of that. He said, come. He said, do you know that between Hajar al-Aswad of the Kaaba and the door of the Kaaba, which is such a small space, like maybe 4 or 5 steps, he said, I can recite the entire Quran for you. And this guy said, it's impossible. He thought he was going to recite 3 Qul aloud. He said, no, let me show you. He held his hand. He went into another dimension. So as they were walking between Hajar al-Aswad and the door of the Kaaba, they were now in a separate dimension. He recited the entire Quran from Surah Al-Fatiha, Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah Al-Imran, Surah Al-Ma'idah, continuing right up to Qul A'udhu bin Nas. 114 chapters. And this guy was amazed. It took him an entire day or 2 days standing there between Hajar al-Aswad and the door of the Kaaba to recite the entire Quran. It took 2 days in that dimension, but it took 5 seconds. When this guy came out, he said, but we just walked it took him 5 seconds to walk between Hajar al-Aswad and the door of the Kaaba, but in that other dimension, he had the barakat of a full day. So he had the barakat of the full day in 3 steps. He recited the entire Quran. This is something we do not understand. Physics tells us is dilation of time and space, and this is what gave Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that barakat in his time. So we spoke about the parallel universes when Musa alayhi salam was in 3 different places. So now we're coming to the main part now. We're going to leave this for the next episode. We're going to now come to the concept known as a teleporter. How did Nabi Sallallahu, what was the structure? And this is the diagram that I've drawn. This is the structure by which Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam went to the 7 heavens, right? What was the thing that he went to the 7 heavens for? That is known as a teleporter, right? So I'm going to explain to you how that works. So join me in the next session. We will take the discussion of what was this Miraj, what thing took him so high. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.